Okay, this is so... Okay, hi everyone. We have a funny story. So Jashana and I have been chatting away for the past 10 minutes because I thought that we were live. And it turns out I needed to press the go live button. So I
was talking to the chat.
I know, we were all like, I was like waiting for people to respond in the chat to like my questions and stuff. And I was like, no one's responding. So hello, everyone. I am so sorry about the delay. We are here now. We'll just start over. I'm so sorry, Jashana.
I got all day. I got time.
We're good. So, okay, starting over. Introductions. Welcome to the Shelf Space Book Club July month, and this is our live show for Malice by John Gwynne. If you don't know, Shelf Space Book Club is my sci-fi fantasy book club where every month we feature a different sci-fi or fantasy book and we feature a different guest host. So this month's guest host is Jashana. So Jashana, would you like to introduce yourself and give us your top 3 favorite fantasy series?
Well, I think before I said like 4 or 5 anyway, so I'll cut it down.
We've already done all this, so that's why we're laughing at each other.
That was just the rehearsal, you know. It was
just
practice. So hi, hello, I'm Jashana. My channel is my name, so if you're not subscribed to me and you want to check it out, there you go, Jashana. And I've been on BookTube for about 3 years, I want to say. Avid reader my whole life. But yeah, I was not reading fantasy for my entire life. And I said previously that I have to give credit where credit is due to a book series that I am rereading this year and not loving. And that is the Sookie Stackhouse series. That, upon reread, I realize I really hate Sookie as a character. I hate her. But yeah. I have to, that's what got me into like reading fantasy. So I kind of have to give that one a place for nostalgia. And then I would probably say the Legends of the First Empire series by Michael J. Sullivan. I really, really enjoyed that. High fantasy, adult high fantasy, whatever. It's all of Michael J. Sullivan I've read though. There's like 2 other series in that world that I have not read yet. And then now I got to pick though between, I probably, because I was going to say pick between Throne of Glass or Hunger Games. I got to give it to the Hunger Games because I was obsessed. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And I'm going to reiterate this. I've already said it before just between us two, but for everyone who's now in the live show, if you don't follow Jashana, you definitely should. Her content always makes me laugh. It's quality. And especially your Sookie Stackhouse rants. I live for them. I love them. So if you're not already following Jashana, go do it. So
I just filmed another one today too. So that's coming.
I'm so excited. I love those rant reviews. So now getting into the book, and we're going to stay spoiler free because I know a couple people have joined. I'm seeing ebook witched. I see you join, but you haven't finished the book yet. And Alan, I know that you don't want spoilers, so we'll start with just our overall thoughts and ratings, spoiler free, and then we're going to dig into spoilers. So Jashana, what was your overall rating and why?
My overall rating, I gave it 4 stars. And basically the moral of the story is just the characters. I got super invested in the characters, and with a book with so many points of view, that can be really hard for me sometimes. Because you don't get as much of them, you don't get as invested, and with this one, I liked so many of them, and I cared about so many of them, and I was interested in what was happening with so many of them. So that is why I give 4.
Yes, and I completely agree. I ended up giving this 4.5 stars, and I'd love for the comments, if you all are there and have read this book, give your star ratings. I'd love to see what your reactions were to this, because I also loved the characters, and that's what totally got me hooked on this book. I loved where they were going. I loved a lot of the plot and tropes that it was starting to bring up that we'll talk about in the spoilers section. So I just thought this book was full of good stuff that makes me so excited to read the rest of the series. So I think there's a lot of theorizing that you can do after reading this book.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm seeing, woohoo, yay.
Oh, yeah.
Chat, Abby gave it 4.5.
Yeah.
Awesome. After
4
book.
5. Yeah.
Awesome, you guys.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seemed like in the Discord, it seemed like everybody was really enjoying it.
Yes, I'm loving this. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm so glad that you all really enjoyed this. Good pick, Jashana. So glad you suggested this. Wow, this is awesome, you guys. Gave it 4 stars. I'm not seeing anything. Okay, I see one coming up that's below 4 stars, but still 3.5. That's some POVs, not quite invested in some. Yep. And we'll talk about kind of the different POVs. 4 stars, awesome. Okay, yep. Fair. Alan, you haven't read it yet. Get out of here. Okay, so now we are going to go into spoilers. So I'm sorry, Alan. I'm sorry. Anyone else who hasn't finished it yet, you'll have to leave because I do recommend this. So I don't want to spoil anything for you, and it's great. So let's start getting into some of the meat of this book. So let's talk about the different perspectives because there were a lot in here. And I definitely think that it took a while to get into. That's kind of what I was seeing as a pattern in our Discord. A lot of people in that first section were like, what is going on? And I wasn't even a huge fan of this at the beginning and then got hooked later on. So which perspectives, Jashana, did you find the most interesting and the least interesting?
The most interesting, and I'm going to talk, I guess, like generally because some of them like kind of fluctuated or changed.
Yeah.
So I would say generally the most interesting for me was Veritas and Nether. And at first it was because I was just like, I love them. And then later it was just like, what the hell? But like, I still love Veritas. But like, what is happening? And I was like, ew. So yeah, I would say that was the most interesting to me throughout.
Yeah.
And then the least interesting to me, I mean, he was barely even in it, and he was just like such a villain. Evness. I kind of was like, and like what he was doing, it was like it should have been really interesting, like this magical stuff, and he's finding these ancient artifacts and things, and like it should have been really interesting. But every time it was an Evness chapter, I was like, ugh,
yeah, like here's like a break from the rest of the story. It almost felt like.
Yeah, exactly. And he was just kind of like a mustache twirling villain. He felt like. It's like okay.
Yes. I totally agree. And folks in the comments, let us know what your least favorite and your favorite perspectives were. But I definitely found like Corbin and Cywin throughout the entire book had my attention, and I just really, really enjoyed them. Especially like the moment where I was really hooked to Corbin was when he saved the wolf cub. And I was like, oh, you're like a mini Jon Snow.
Yeah.
I like this.
And then later, mini Arya, when he had to like, that broke me when he had to,
oh my God.
I
was like crying. I was like, oh my God. Evness, I hate Evness after he was killing all the wolf cubs. Oh my God. So Corbin and Cywin for me, like throughout the whole book, I really enjoyed them. I really liked Cywin. But I really started to like halfway through Nether and Veritas because their perspectives were where you got a lot of the plotting and the political intrigue, and all of that was centered around their perspective. So I really, really ended up loving theirs. And I gotta say, like, characters in this book, obviously, I think are the shining point of this book. So I love what John Gwynne did when he started off the story making you like characters like Nether, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. Bad.
I was like I so believed. I was like, he's great. He's such a good guy. Oh my God. And then not quickly, but like at a certain point I was just like, and then of course
I started getting like a little suspicious, like, you know, page 150, 200, you're like, wait a minute. And then you're like, oh my God, he's evil.
Yeah. That whole forbidden, or not forbidden, but that like hidden land that they went to, where he went with the giant and the other guy, that whole thing, I was like, this feels too good to be true.
Right.
Like, this feels weird and not, I don't know. But I still was like, I guess it's like the Ben Alim guy, like
he'll figure it out. Nope.
Yeah. And then when they like collapsed or whatever, when him and Corbin both did, that's when I was like, oh, okay, he's not the good guy, because clearly Corbin is, like, out of these two, who's the better person? Like, Corbin, duh.
Yes.
So
I agree. All right, I'm gonna try to catch up on some of your comments here.
Oh, the storm thing, yeah, that. Oh man.
I actually didn't feel like the beginning was slow, like most people thought the middle was slower than the beginning. Yeah, it's like the beginning.
The plot, yeah.
Yeah, like the plot itself was really like evenly paced, I felt, throughout. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought more of like the beginning was just hard to get into because of all the characters that are thrown at you. Yeah. I agree with you, Julie May.
Yeah.
Yes, Evness. My biggest issue with the book was Evness. He's just kind of a whiny baby. Yes.
I feel like Evness was another situation of like John Gwynne like tricking you, right? Like, because the book starts off with him like doing this secret oath with this witch in the woods or whatever, and you're like, oh, he's gonna be the bad guy, and then he's kind of like a like watered down Littlefinger to me, like this sneaky behind the scenes conniving, but like he's not as bad or not as like smart as Littlefinger. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like there are so many similarities for me to Game of Thrones with this book, and I think that's why I loved it as much as I did, because I love A Song of Ice and Fire because of the characters. So I'm really, really intrigued by this one. Least favorite so far is honestly Corbin and Tywin. Okay, I'm curious. Julie May, tell us why, because I'm actually very curious about that. Let's hash that out. I was not a fan of Castell and his brother.
Oh, I love Castell.
Yeah.
When he, like I was saying before we were live, he kind of went off. Him and Macklin, his like guy, his bestie, that is like dark. Yeah. They just kind of went off and like were like, let's go be soldiers for these giant killers, and they kind of were like gone for a while.
Yeah, it felt very much to me like this particular story and focus was very much on Corbin and Nether / Veritas, where it's like when we did get Castell's point of view, it almost felt like you were just going off on a side tangent that wasn't relevant to what was the focus of this book. So I'm curious in future books, because people have said stuff where you're like, you're going to change your mind on a lot of characters, and that makes me think that a lot is still to come.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, set up a lot.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes, cursing out Veritas. Like, bro, you can't be this stupid.
Take him. Like, come on, dude, wake up.
Yeah, he's being way too like blind to the truth that is right in front of him. Like, hello.
I know.
Like when the dude went into the chambers with Nether and his dad, and then came scurrying out looking all nervous, and then like Nether is stabbed and his dad is dead. I'm like, you think that guy, if he just murdered them, you think he would have just like come out like that? He probably would have come out swinging. Like, he would have known you were gonna be. I don't know. The whole thing, I was just like, from the get-go, why did you believe this? Ugh.
Yeah, I think like overall, I will say that was kind of why I thought this book wasn't perfect, was because some of the things were a little like, come on,
contrived. Like, yeah.
Really? Yeah. You really wouldn't notice that. Like, you wouldn't think about it. Like, it just didn't have that level of sophistication where you're like, these characters are brilliant. Like, you're definitely like, as a reader, ahead of the characters.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not a huge fan of that usually, but I still love it.
Yeah, no, I did too, for sure. But yeah, I feel like it would have made more sense to me if Veritas had like been by Nether's side for like his whole life. Like, if they were like brothers, basically. I would buy it more that, like, he can't believe this of Nether. But because he's only been with her for, like, what, a year? I was like, bro, you don't know him like that?
That's so true. That's a really good point as well, because I forgot that, like, you start Veritas's perspective with him being assigned to Nether.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. They really don't know each other.
Yeah, like, I get that you want to believe this of him, but you don't know him like that. So why is it so hard for you to believe that he could be bad? I don't know. It was just
I agree. I loved Castell. I was really hoping she was going to turn Veritas around.
I know. My fingers are still crossed for that. Like,
I hope. Maybe that is like Castell's bigger purpose or something. I don't know. We could theorize a lot. A lot of people want us to theorize, so we're definitely going to do that during this.
Yeah. Well, all those favorites. Oh yeah. So I totally get why everybody loves Corbin and Cywin, but for like the first part of the whole book, I was just kind of like bored by their stuff.
Yeah. No, I definitely, that makes sense. Corbin is my least favorite because he was too naive and weak for most of the book. Yeah. He has a ton of potential. Yes, I agree. And I do have to say, that's something that a lot of times with fantasy books, it bothers me when protagonists level up too quickly. Like you don't, and you don't want like these huge drawn out training scenes where you're like slogging through a whole book of the character just trying to like get the power. But I thought John Gwynne had a really nice balance of showing, you know, Corbin has natural ability, which is made clear, but he also had to train for a lot of his strength and ability that he did have at the end of the book. And I thought that was really well done. Like I wasn't bored during those training scenes, and I didn't feel like he leveled up too quickly.
Yeah, I didn't either. And that drives me absolutely crazy as well.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, all of a sudden you're so great. Like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. I think there are characters that are secretly gods.
I think, I don't know about a god, but something's up with Gar. Something is up with Gar. I feel like Gar might be a Ben Alim, because the Ben Alim are supposed to be with the bright star. And they're making it out like that one dude. What was his name? What was his name? Calidus. Like when he revealed himself to be
the wings.
I think he's the, I can't remember the name of the other beings. But yeah, I was like at the end there when Gar was fighting and going crazy and like being all amazing, I was just like,
like Gar is going to have like an epic moment in one of these books sometime soon. Like I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I think so. Like, yeah, he really like let loose there at the end and just like unleashed. I was like, oh,
I love
shit.
It. Go Gar! So awesome. Yeah, speaking of the ending, did any of the deaths, and there were a lot of them, which I was like, damn, John Gwynne, you don't hold back. Were there any of them that really affected you?
Well, I mean, it would. I just saw in the someone said that we're saying Cywin's name wrong, that it is Kywin, which I wasn't sure.
See,
hers, I think would, except I don't believe she's dead. Like
I really hope not.
0%. Like there was too much buildup of her. Like there, right before the ending, she was just like really focused on like, I want to go fight. I want to go fight. I should be able to go battle. Like I'm so good. I'm so skilled. The boys are scared to like go against me. Like this is the end. And then she dies, and I was just like, I don't think so. I think she's coming back to like whoop some ass. For sure. So that would have really upset me, except I was just like, no, I don't buy it. And we didn't see it. It was like, if I don't see it happen on the page, I don't trust it.
Exactly. But said it in the Discord so well. They were like, unless there is a body and it's like burned, like totally ashes, and even then they can still come back. So I agree. I don't think she's dead because there was just too much build up for her to just
way too much. It would make no sense. I feel like the one that affected me the most, probably that I can remember anyways, was Thanon.
I actually
obviously, like that was a bummer, a big bummer. I was honestly kind of upset for, oh man, Vaughn and oh my God, I can't remember his best friend's name now. Darth, what the frick was his name? Corbin's bestie?
Yes,
With the
yes.
The sister, right? The sister died, which we like hardly ever saw her.
Are you talking about not the one at the beginning, Dylan dying?
No, Daft. Yeah, Daft. Daft. I know, I'm like looking. Daft's sister, who we saw like one time, but who Vaughn was apparently like in love with.
Oh yeah.
And she's gone, and that I was like, I didn't even see this girl. But like, I don't know why it just like hit me different. I was like, oh, he was all happy, and I feel like Vaughn was like gonna turn into a good guy.
Yeah,
because he was like in love with her, but
there were so many deaths. I was shocked. Okay, let's see what.
Yeah,
Kaiwin's ending shocked me. Yeah, I loved Kaiwin. She was a great character.
She's coming back.
Gar might be.
I refuse.
Whoa.
I would have believed that for sure.
Yeah.
Like, the way they talked about him, like he has to be with him, and I was just like, wait, what? But then later, I don't think he is.
Hi, Alex. Alex's channel is awesome. Kaiwin, yes, the ending. Kaiwin, Thanon, yes. Toll. Okay, yeah, we haven't talked about Toll. He was a really good character, and I just wanted more of him. Like, wow, John Gwynne, he's not afraid to like kill off really likable characters that he does a lot of work with. I like appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, Sue. Yeah, totally agree.
Was a bummer. What was Brennan? Was that his name? Brennan?
Oh my God, all of the I swear, someone was writing down like note cards of the characters, and I should have done that because I'm so bad. Like I can't even. What was the name of the one who Farrell? And I was like, who's Farrell? Now I'm Farrell. I'm so bad with all the names. Okay, so I wanted to shift because I want to talk about, there's a prophecy in this book, and I love it. I love prophecies. I'm like so excited about it. And there's a lot of theories that you could come up with for where the series is going to go. I am the worst in the world at predicting twists, at predicting theories of any kind. So I'm curious more of what you have to say about this, because I am horrible at this kind of stuff.
I'm not that great at it either, I feel like, but I just have a feeling that I'm knowing that it's a 4-book series and that they're all chunkers.
Yes.
I'm just like, I feel like he's gonna trick us again at some point, or I feel like he's gonna flip something. Like, I feel like, because right now I'm like, ooh, this person is this, and this person is this in the prophecy, but I'm like, he's probably gonna, like, I feel like he's just gonna flip it on its head, probably more than once. And like,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm nervous, but like I'm excited, and I don't know. I was looking at the prophecy earlier, trying to like determine like what, and that's when I was like, I think Gar might be one of the Benelli. Like, I think he is.
And the fact that John Gwynne has already made me could do a complete 180 on Nathair's character. And Camlin, is that his name?
The dude, the bow and arrow dude. Oh, I love him.
Another like 180 where I didn't care about him at all, and I was like, eh. And then at the end,
captured and stuff. I can't be like, why do we have this guy's perspective? Like, I don't. I'm confused. Like, he's out in the woods with these bandits. Now he's captured. Like, why do I care? And then by the end, I was like, I love him.
I know. I was like, this is awesome. So the fact that he can already do that with just one book with these characters, I'm so nervous because right now I love to hate Nathair. Like, that's a love to hate kind of relationship that I have with him. And like people like Raph or whatever his name is.
Rafe? Oh God, and Jael or Jael or whatever the frick.
Jael.
Yeah. That was like, I feel like that was my biggest like gripe. If I were to come up with a gripe with the book, and it's just a personal thing. I think I really don't care for the relentless bully trope. And with kids, I can kind of like, okay, they're kids, they're being dumb. So like, even though it was still annoying to me, like someone else said, Corbin, like for so long, I was just like, kid, like do something. Like, I don't know, man. Like, stand up for yourself. What the frick? But I was like, he's a kid. It's fine. He's very soft-hearted. Okay, it's okay. And I could like kind of excuse it. But then when the adults are acting like this, like Jael hating Castell so much, and Castell is just like, I'm just trying to chill, man. Like, be cool with you, and like have respect for you, and get along with you. And Jael's like, F you, I'm gonna kill you. You're a child. Like, you're a grown man. Why are you acting like this?
And then later,
and then later when Rafe, like in the middle, I was complaining about this too, but in the middle, or to somebody, who was I complaining about this to? I don't remember. Anyway, in the middle of this freaking battle, the king has just been killed. All hell is breaking loose. And Hellfac and his son Rafe are like, we're going to kill Corbin right now. I was like, get your life together. Like, you're a grown man. Why is this your priority right now? Like, your priority right now is to attack this kid because he fought my son and was better than my son. Like, and because his dad, like, bested me. Who cares? Get over it. Like, oh my God, so that was my biggest gripe.
Oh my God.
That happened where I was like, I hate you all, but it wasn't like the main point of the book or anything. So
right. I love your. I was so excited for you to just go off on this. It's so funny. No, I completely agree. So someone in the Discord made me think that Jael. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. Someone made me think that he's gonna have some sort of like redemption, and I mean I can't imagine what it's gonna be. But that's why I think like John Gwynne, he has already proven himself to be totally untrustworthy. I don't trust John at all. So I mean we could end up loving Rafe. I hope.
Yeah. Honestly.
But
yeah, it's all up in the air at this point. Truly.
Catch up with chat. Yeah, I agree. I am so bad at that stuff. Camlin's great. Yep.
Yeah, Camlin.
I
hope he has like a bigger role even in future books.
Yes.
As soon as I get the next book, I'm buying it and I'm gonna continue.
I know. I'm so excited. I've started so many series. I don't know why I do this to myself. I start so many series and I'm like, well, now I don't know which one to continue on with. So I really, really am into this very much so. So I would love to start Valor as soon as I can. I still haven't gotten it though in the mail. Do you love authors who do the whole 180 with characters? Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And that's why I ended up giving this a 4.5 because I was like, oh my God, like I'm actually tearing up at some of these characters' deaths. And like, I actually, like, he's playing with my emotions. What is this? Like, I'm always just very impressed with authors who can do that. Toll versus Morcant. Pretty sweet. Yeah, it was.
That got me too. Morcant, when he died.
Yeah.
Was it him that died or no? Yeah, it was him that died, right? That was his name.
So. I think so.
Guy. Yeah, that was. Let me double check. I had it right here. I had it somewhere. I'm pretty sure
I don't trust John either. Phase Red 84. I don't trust John at all.
I'm like looking now.
Vaughn could turn Rafe at some point, but he does seem to have a lot of rage. Yeah, especially since his love died at the end. I think that's going to mess with Vaughn. I'm 80% right with theories. That's awesome. I'm 0% right with theories. I loved this. Yeah, everyone says Valor is even better, and I am so excited about that because I loved Malice. So
I'm excited too. I am excited too.
Ended up being right. Nice. That's awesome. About the entire series after reading the first 150 pages. Yeah. Yeah, I would say after 150 pages, that's where I was hooked. The Giants. I want to see more of their battles. Oh my gosh, and we haven't even talked about some of the magic and world building. So he introduces the idea of magic, and we see very small glimpses into magic. Like I think the giants can wield fire and something with earth magic. It's elemental magic, it sounds like. So do you think Corbin is going to have elemental magic?
I feel like he is. I feel like the glimpses of it with him like being so bonded to the animals. I feel like that has something to do with like some power that he has. I don't necessarily know. I guess. Yeah, I don't know if I think he'll do magic necessarily. Maybe, but because like that too. I remember a couple times where he like his emotions would be taking over, and he would. Like when it was his point of view, and he would say something about like the feeling internally and like feeling his blood rush and like all this stuff, or like heating up and whatever. And I was like, is this like some kind of magical thing? Like
I think it is.
I don't know. So,
I agree. I think that Corbin is going to have some sort of elemental magic, and it makes me think that Nether, if Nether ends up being the opposite of the dark one, the black sun, he should also power up and have elemental magic to balance out those scales, make them worthy opponents of each other. So I'm curious because and that's kind of why I like this book, because I mean, I love magic systems. I love when books focus on magic systems, but it's also nice to find a book like this that's, again, very reminiscent of A Song of Ice and Fire. Not to bring it up every time I talk about this book, but it just reminded me so much of it because it doesn't place a huge emphasis on, different types of creatures and magic systems and stuff. It's much more of the political side of fantasy, which I really like. So I'm curious.
Yeah, definitely. I think there'll be something for sure.
Super excited. My gosh, Sue, that is amazing. I
wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
Morgan was the one with the scar that Cole gave him.
Who was the princess's guard guy? The one that Kylan loved, and then he died in the woods.
Yeah, no, what is his name? Someone in the chat's gonna know his name. And I'm gonna find it.
And now I can't find it.
According to Goodreads, each one is better than the last. That's awesome.
That's what I've heard. I'm so excited.
I know. I was saying Simon too. Quen. It's Quen. Oh my gosh! I would have never gotten that. Love to have a book club for book food. So Abby, I'm glad you brought this up, because in the Discord, a lot of folks were so excited about starting Valor that I went ahead and made some channels for discussing Valor in the Discord. I don't know if we'll have a live show for it, but I mean, if we're interested, I would be down. But yeah, no, if you want to chat with other folks who are reading Valor right now, I think there's a lot of activity. So that's fun. Animage is a part of the world. Yes, I love that trope. Ooh, yes.
Yeah, and that's part of the prophecy too.
Yeah,
Storm and the Shield.
Storm and Shield. That just reminds me of It just reminds me so much of Game of Thrones. So funny.
Yeah, I know. And that was part of the prophecy too. Right after the Storm and the Shield, it was before one Storm and Shield shall stand, before the other True Heart and Black Heart. Ronan, yes,
Ronan,
that guy. That hurt my heart when I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, they're cute. They're flirting. They're developing a little thing. Cute. Love it. And then, nope. He freaking died. So sad.
So sad. All right. Well, I have to wrap this up because I actually have to go to a dinner for my anniversary. Anniversary. 1 year.
Oh, yay. Congrats.
So, but I wanted to just leave off with overall thoughts and what you're most excited for in the next book.
I think I'm most excited for and anticipating seeing what the frick happened with Kaiwin, Saiwin, whatever the
Yes.
frick,
Yes.
because I just don't believe that she's dead. And yeah, I'm just anxious to see where it goes. I don't know, like,
Yes.
I want to see Camlin become like a bigger deal. I want to see Corbin like come into his own and be like more of a confident, like, badass.
Yes.
I just, there's so much that I'm like, I want to see what happens with these people. So
Yes.
yeah.
Everything you just said, I completely agree. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, guys. Thanks for the happy anniversaries.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jashana, for joining this month. This was such an awesome read. I'm so glad that this was the pick because I never would have picked this up on my own. I feel like it was on my TBR forever, but it was one that I was not going to get to for a while. And I'm so glad that we got to chat about it and that we love it. I was so excited to continue on.
Me too.
So, definitely want to chat Valor with you when we start reading it.
I'll let you know when I pick it up.
Okay. So as a reminder, for Luna, thank you. For next month, we're reading The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. That is her newest release, and it sounds really cool. It's like a fantasy New York City. Give me all of it. So that's going to be next month, and our guest host is Kaylani. So if you don't follow her, I will leave her channel link down below as well as Jashana's. You should all go follow Jashana's channel. She is great. So thank you again so much, everyone, for joining, and thank you again, Jashana. And I will talk to you soon.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Have a good night.